Hey everyone, Alex here. This will be a shorter intro. If you want the full one, check out the first part of the Behind the Ostium series, which I highly recommend if you want to do this in order. And if you enjoyed the first episode and would like access to the whole series, you can do that on the Ostium Network Patreon at patreon.com/ostiumpodcast. At the $5 tier, you can get access to the 40-plus episodes of the Behind the Ostium series, plus ad-free episodes of the Ostium Network shows, and a whole bunch of bonus material. So let's get started with the next episode of Behind the Ostium, where I sit down with Dwayne Farver of the Manifestations podcast and a big fan of the show, and we talk about the ins and outs of our favorite show, the Ostium podcast.
So then we move on to episode 6, Dialogues, and I already knew this was what this episode was going to be. It was our two characters coming together, and this is where I wanted to try something a little different, which I've gone on to now do in future seasons, where I wanted an all-dialogue episode, just the characters interacting with each other, not having any kind of narrative in their head sort of thing from their point of view, more just them reacting to each other and talking to each other. And then I've gone on to do that in future seasons too, where I want at least 1 or 2 episodes of all dialogue, just to give it a different kind of feel. But because this was such a big moment in the series of having these two characters meet up for the first time, I wanted to make it something unique again and stand out. It was also the first time we got Chris, who plays Jake, and Georgia, who plays Monica, actually together. We were all together in, I believe it was Chris's old house, all sitting on his floor of his studio area with our mics and stuff. And, well, they had their mics. I had my script in front of me to make sure they were saying the right words. But it was the first time having us all together and just recording together. So there was a different dynamic to it all, and it definitely helped make them, connect better and react to each other's lines and put more of their character, more of their feelings as people into the character, it felt. And then they could also react off of each other, and work together. Did a little bit on their background. We're all friends in real life. We're all former Borders employees and stuff. And so that kind of helped, I think, break any ice that wasn't really there that we broken, because we all knew each other and were friendly and stuff, that we were all just comfortable with each other recording. And then with that episode, I then led it up to a cliffhanger with some of Monica's soldier people arriving and setting up a kind of another cliffhanger there with a new chapter in the storyline of changing things again, where now all of a sudden you have Monica's people coming in and giving a different feel to the show once again.
The big thing I got from this is that I did not believe Monica yet. Didn't trust her, didn't trust what she was saying about Steve. Just had a gut reaction that there was some misdirection going on. I did find it interesting that she was saying she had a job to review satellite images, and that's how she found Ostium.
Yeah, there was a chance, I think, for me to give a kind of different angle to Ostium, seeing it from above, kind of how I see it in my head, and kind of give it a chance for the listeners to kind of see that angle too. And kind of go into a little more of almost like the mythology and the history of the town and stuff like that.
We get hints at the design, like with the medieval wall surrounding Ostium, and then going to the map table with the glowing objects. I have a note here that it felt right. I remember from the first time that I was listening to this, I was like, oh yeah, that's what would happen. That seems like.
Yeah, because with the I can't remember if I told this before, with the glowing numbers, it was kind of like a little, almost a video gamey reference there. So it's a little bad, but also I think making Ostium a strange, unusual, unique place that is almost like made up of different things. So it's not clear that it fits in this particular time or belongs in this particular setting. That it's definitely outside of or adjacent to the regular world.
And my last note was that the cavalry in question mark has arrived.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely wasn't someone coming to save anyone, for sure.
Yeah, and also that the way they come in. Well, I guess that's for the next episode, so I won't talk about that quite yet. But again, just giving it, turning it on its head, which I've kind of had the feedback from different listeners say, which is what I'm always looking to do is I never want Ostium to become predictable or obvious, you know? I always want it to change up and pull things out of left field, it's things you're never going to see coming. And it's not always necessarily that I mean, that's my intention, but I don't always plot it out that way. It just happens. I just put the words on the page and then, oh, okay, that's happening now. Okay, well, that changes that. And then I stick with it. And then it pretty much always pans out that I can keep that in there and keep going in that direction. And it's led to many strange and interesting and unusual places.
Definitely.